So I'm going to show why I vibrate and joint rotate at the same time. Now, again, this is actually very feel-based, so I can really only explain to you what I'm feeling, but I'm going to be going over two techniques. They're way more depth to these two techniques, and then I'm actually going to kind of combine both the tool techniques together while vibrating and joint rotating. So it's going to be like a stretching technique and then also a massaging technique, and it's self-massage and it's self-stretching. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show those two, and they work very well when you're vibrating and joint rotating. So that's kind of why it's a combination type thing. So, and the reason I'm able to do these a lot easier is because when you're vibrating, it's like everything in your body becomes a lot looser and you just have more mobility. You're able to move further and looser. So that's kind of why I do that. All right. So I'm going to kind of readjust the camera to get a better angle, and then I'm going to go through the two techniques, and very basics, and then I'm going to kind of combine the two techniques in a way. Okay. So to start, let's just work on the shoulder. Okay. Kind of like shoulder, bicep, forearm, kind of combo-y thing. Okay, that's what I'm going to do here. All right, so to kind of give like a basic of the stretch, all right? Let's say we're moving on my shoulder, right? I can only move my shoulder so high, right, because it hurts. I'm unable to just move it any further past this point, okay? So feel discomfort, feel some movement restriction, just maybe a hint, just a little bit of pain, okay? Maybe just a little bit to give yourself a cue, right? So, and we don't want to go any more further than that, all right? From this direction, since I can't move my arm any further, just go ahead and hold and get a good vibrate. Maybe you're at the chest right now, or you're at the abdomen, which is good. So we're just going to vibrate, and you're going to be able, you might be able to move it a little bit further, because it hurt where it hurt, right? And it was restricted and tight. But if you're vibrating, you're going to be able to notice, I'm able to push it a little further, okay? So, and then you bring it up. And then when I'm at that spot, because now I'm able to go a little bit further, but now it still feels a little tight, now you do the rotations, right? So forward, back, up, down. However, just rotate the shoulder. Focus on just moving your shoulder joint around those areas of discomfort. Keep honing in on it, vibrating and rotating, right? To go take the stretch a little further, try to like twist, right? So let's say my arm hurts, or my arm feels discomfort, a little bit of pain, like right here. Now just try to twist in each direction, right? To the back or to the front. And then you're going to feel like you can't go any further. This is kind of where the vibrations really come in, right? So like this is as far as my arm will go, right? But now you can just move your arm in that direction further and in that direction further. And then when you hit that spot, you can't move your hand in either direction anymore. Now you joint rotate. So I'm stretching. You can also push out. You can pull in from this direction, right? So I'm coming in and I'm pushing back. And you just got to mess around with it, right? And when you're vibrating, you have more fluidity, right? So when I'm vibrating, I have more fluidity with what I'm doing. And when we get to a spot that sticks, then we can go ahead and use our joints. I can also, you want to throw it in, now we can move the wrist, right? Because I'm going to be let's say I'm flexing my hand back. It's just a quick introduction to a different joint. I can just hold this spot and I can just move my wrist. So you feel your shoulder, but then you're going to start feeling the forearm loosen up. This is going to retroactively work up, okay? It can possibly help alleviate pain in your arm, okay, or your shoulder. And so now I'm gonna kind of do like a self massage technique, okay? So we're kind of using the bicep, right, and the shoulder as an example. So up here, it's like if I just press in here and it's sensitive, right? It hurts. You're like and you can't really move it any further in this location. You're just using your hand. You just give it a good vibrate, right? So it's like, and then you're gonna notice that you're gonna be able to sink your hand in more. And as long as you're doing a calm, relaxed vibrate, the restriction of how far you can push in just kind of goes away, and you're able to push it in a lot further, and you're able to move around. And just take your time with it again. Don't go too hard. See, I'm kind of moving my shoulder with it too. So I'm pushing in and I'm moving my shoulder to break up a lot of that stuff that's going on in there, all that mobility restriction, right? So I'm just moving that around, okay? And let's say you got arthritis in your hands or something, you can't really use your hands. Well, we can use other things too, like we can use a knee, right? So if I really want to get into my shoulder, I have my knee joint, my kneecap, right? So now I'm going to combine both. I'm going to kind of be doing a stretch twist and a massage application at the same time. So I'm going to be using my knee, and I'm going to be massaging this area with my knee, okay? Roughly around this area. At the same time, I'm going to be twisting my arm to create a stretch, okay? So I got the stretch going, and then I'm also going to be putting pressure down by massaging and stretching at the same time, right? And so then I can move my arm along with my knee. This one's a little bit more difficult for sure, but this is like combining it. So I'm going to really be focusing here because this is where I feel it, right? So I'm going to be focusing right here, and I'm going to be twisting my arm this way, and I'm also going to be incorporating my wrist and my shoulder, just in this one, right? So I'm going to go ahead. You got to just breathe, relax, and go ahead and get a really good vibration going. And you're going to feel you're going to have this feeling of like your arm kind of melting into your knee, right? With your arm, give it as much pressure down as you can, right? Just give it as much pressure down as you can. You don't have to go too far. Now I'm twisting. Now I'm joint rotating. So those are kind of two techniques. The massaging, the stretching. Those are the basics of both of them, and I kind of combined them. So, and it gets way more in depth, way more complex, but I just kind of wanted to keep things simple for this point.